Okay, I want to say a very good afternoon to each and everyone who's present at this very important meeting, which will see the official launch of our 2020 Goodwill Tape Ball cricket match, which is really in aid to support Barbados' Cancer Society. It is my distinct and good pleasure this afternoon to introduce to you our very first speaker, who is Mr. Mohammed, who conceptualized and originated the entire idea of this cricket match, which is to go towards a noteworthy, charitable, and certainly a very important cause in Barbados. And now, at this point in time, I'll hand you over to Mr. Mohammed, who will do the official welcome and also give you an overview of what this cricket match, which is scheduled for next Friday at Passage Road at 6 o'clock, what it is all about and why. Mr. Mohammed.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum, brothers in Islam. I came up with this idea of this match firstly because Turf Club have been playing cricket for the last, 3-4 years, Junior? Thereabouts?
Longer than that.
No, longer than that. We have a lead team going at the Turf Club, and we just want to let camaraderie among other teams. We've been playing particular teams all along. So I came up with the idea of a Muslim team. Hence, the reason being is that I associate with the Turf Club. I'm a Muslim as well. And both sides I see cancer affect families, friends. Right now, personally, at the Turf Club, we have one going on. And I want to do something to help Cancer Society. Before I went on holiday in September, I approached Miss Spears for her approval, and she said, go right ahead, you know what to do. And she was all for it. Unfortunately, let me apologize, she can't be here today. So when I approached Mr. Lashley then, because when I checked this National Sports Council, it was a little burden to put on this game, be honest. Costs of this and costs of that. And so Mr. Lashley, I know he has his way of getting around. So I approached him and he was all for it. And then I approached Dr. Kurt Johnson and I told her what it's about, and she said she's all for it as well. 3 Sundays ago, they had a nice little walk for the ladies, and Dr. Kurt Johnson came about and said we will raise money for the men's section. So this one is for the men, but ladies, don't be left out. You come and support the cause also. And if there are any questions, you could ask.
Sure. Well, thanks very much. Thanks very much, Mr. Mohammed. Our next speaker is a person that obviously do not need any introduction to Barbados. When you hear of the dreaded disease, cancer, in all of its forms, then you hear about the name of Dr. Dorothy Cook Johnson, who is the leading advocate and fighter in Barbados against this disease. And I'm sure that her presence this evening certainly augurs well for what is to come on Friday. And therefore, without any further delay, I would want to introduce to you our next speaker, Dr. Dorothy Johnson, to address us on the Cancer Society and certainly her involvement in this exercise.
Thank you very much. I'm going to call you Your Honor, all right? And also to thank you immediately for being such a wonderful facilitator, Mr. Lashley. Mr. Mohammed and the members of the community, that is the Muslim community, the school teams, and the Barbados Turf Club. Ladies and gentlemen, that includes you, see. I'm very, very pleased to be here this evening at an absolutely original fundraiser. I told my son, this is what I'm going to do. He said, how does that come about? Where did you get that? That is the most unusual combination of teams I have heard of. You know, and it really is enormously marvelous because it cuts right across everything and it brings groups together who probably we wouldn't have thought of doing. But it's your genius to have done so.
Thanks.
So I'm sure it's a first one. It's an original fundraiser, and it's the first, I'm sure, too, for you, Mr. Lashley.
Yes.
And you've seen many things. This match will show the community how great it is for all sectors of our society to come together as one and to do work together which is of benefit. These two things, charity and altruism, are great examples for the adults to show to the youth so they can learn about helping others and doing fundraising in order to make life easier. So we're raising funds for the Barbados Cancer Society, and particularly its men's program, because we have a program for men against cancer. We raise funds with a thing called Movember, where men can grow beards and raise some funds. But men's cancer is very often overlooked. I think the gentlemen try to look after the ladies, but maybe the ladies should look after the gents more. But I think men on the whole are very sort of feeling robust and don't feel as if they will be ill very often. And so we need to make quite sure that facilities are there for them if they want to have any advice or assistance. As I said, it's the genius of Mr. Mohammed which has brought us here. And as he said too, he has 3 loves besides his wonderful and close-knit family. One of those loves is the Barbados Turf Club. The other love is the Muslim community. And the third love is the Barbados Cancer Society, at which I am always enormously pleased. And he's brought us all together, and we will have a well-patronized match, full of spirit and showing off a world of talent. And I had it here just like the West Indies should. I crossed it out.
After last week.
I want to thank him for all he does. He has held 2 race days, complete race days at the Garrison, and donated funds to the Barbados Cancer Society. And he makes a regular personal independence donation to the society every year, going about it systematically for the whole year, so that he gives an enormous amount to the society himself personally. And he is bringing us this original and interesting match. As I said, the funds will go towards early detection, because that's the most important thing, to catch cancer as early as possible and to treat it immediately, so that it will be the early detection of men's cancers, and we would want to expand that, and your sponsorship will enable that to take place. Advertising and awareness can be increased, and we have to reduce the number of late diagnoses and the high mortality of prostate cancer, which is actually double in mortality any other cancer. I'll just mention it: breast cancer, around about 48 ladies lose their lives annually. For cervix cancer, for which we had the Globathon, about 18 ladies would lose their lives annually. But with prostate cancer, it's usually about 100 men who would die.
Wow.
So it is a significantly large amount, and it's terrible that it has been overlooked, but it's not going to be overlooked anymore. I know that, with Mr. Mohammed on board. This is a new idea and a new approach to success. So may we all have a wonderful evening on the 31st of October at this never-before-held contest. I thank you all for being here and giving us support, and I want to thank you and wish you all the best and give you the goodwill of the Barbados Cancer Society. Thank you.
I certainly want to thank Dr. Dorothy Cook Johnson for her special remark. But what is startling, obviously, is the number of deaths as it relates to prostate cancer in men. And therefore, the major point of sensitization and awareness, particularly early detection, I really believe that the same effort that is being placed on HIV and AIDS and NCDs, non-communicable diseases now, and even the alertness about the dreaded Ebola disease, that same kind of emphasis and sensitization awareness should now be placed on all of the varying cancers that are affecting Barbadian men and women. And therefore, I believe too that despite what is happening, that government of itself has to now redouble its effort and join the Barbados Cancer Society further in its fight to bring this dreaded disease under control. I just want to say one other thing before I introduce the other speaker. One of Mr. Mohammed's idea of a cricket match should not just only be seen as a cricket match from the point of view that we are raising funds for cancer, but should be seen as a wonderful medium of using the most popular medium in Barbados, that is sports, in reaching to people, to getting them involved in such a very important and integral program. And media and sports should never be underrated or underestimated, and that is the power of sports. And now, against that background, I want to introduce you to our next speaker, Ms. Sandra Corbin, who's representing the Barbados Turf Club. I spoke to her. I know we had we want to put it in community jargon. We had a running some years ago, and it was a special project that was being launched at that time. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce Ms. Corbin from Barbados Turf Club.
Thank you and good evening everyone. Thanks to the Ministry of Sports for giving us the facility today. Hamilton Lashley for his presence and experience in these matters. Mohammed Pandor as well of the Muslim team, and of course Dr. Dorothy Cook Johnson of the Barbados Cancer Society, media and other dignitaries, and not forgetting Mohammed.
That's all right.
Integral to the project. Right, so as a representative of the Barbados Turf Club, I'm sure that I speak on behalf of the Turf Club, the President, the CEO, Mrs. Rosetta Pierce, the executive members and staff, in saying that we are really proud to be part of this momentous event and the cricket game. It's lovely to see youth taking part, and that's something that we embrace, and we look forward to seeing you present on that day, as said. So anyway, the Barbados Turf Club versus the Muslim team effort to raise funds is going to take place on Friday the 31st of October at 6 p.m, is that correct?
Correct.
Yes, within our community, in fact, in Passage Road. And what is really poignant is the Turf Club is not far from that venue. So we're really pleased to be at the heart of the community, and we're really happy to assist in such a worthy cause. Now, as said, it's creating cancer awareness from a male perspective as well, regarding issues, yes, regarding all the issues that we know about, testing and support, and that's something that has never been achieved before. Yes, correct. Okay, so we're pleased to see that the community, as well as government and the NGOs, as well as the men themselves, like Mohammed, are actually being proactive with regards to their own healthcare. Yeah? So, with no further ado, all I can say is that we look forward to seeing you there. And don't forget, if you're not attending, you can still donate. Please feel free to donate. You can contact, I'm sure, Mr. Mohammed or Mrs. Cook Johnson, and be able to donate funds if you're unable to attend. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Corbin. The goal 8 of the Millennium Development Goals speaks to, which I consider to be the very most important goal of all of the 8 goals designated by the United Nations, and that is goal 8. Most of the countries across the globe is expected to fulfill these goals by 2050, which is just next year. Unfortunately, most of the countries will not attain the goals that 196 countries across planet Earth sign on to. But I mentioned goal 8 specifically because it speaks to partnerships for the development. Today we are witnessing a wonderful tripartite relationship and partnership between three organizations, the Muslim, Barbados Cancer Society and the Barbados Turf Club. And I would like to add another NGO onto that, which is the Hamilton Lashley Foundation, which will be on board with the effort also. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker, Mr. Mohammed Pandor, is no stranger. I met him and his team while participating in the Derek Seeley under 15 cricket tournament, which took place in August of this year. They won the best team on parade and also had the youngest player who participated in that tournament. I must tell you, these youth on board with this project, it certainly augurs well for the sustainability of such an effort in the future, and we are exceptionally happy to have them on board with us. And now I want to introduce to you Mr. Pandor, who's their coach, manager, off the field captain, and certainly teacher, Mr. Pandor.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, Mr. Harry sir, and Dr. Dothi, please, and Sanja Corbin, and all the audience, and all the especially I'm very glad with all my kids, with the students, with the Al-Falah Cricket Club, and all our Muslim cricketers. I am thankful to Mr. Mohammed and Turf Club. He invited us to take the part in the Cancer Society. It is a very good, lovely. I lost my sister 16 years ago through the cancer, and when Mr. Mohammed contacted me, I rightly tell him, okay, no problem, and it is my duty. I love my cricket. I'm a coach, match referee also, so my passionate and love the cricket, and it's something to give back to my community. This is my adopted house, my land, and I live here, and it is our duty to contribute the country. So I am very happily and glad to Mr. Mohammed to invite us, and we will take part hopefully, and I will call in all my brothers and sisters in our Muslim community and overall all the Barbadian, please to come out. And that is 31st of October on Passage Road Garden, Passage Road Cricket Club. I welcome you all and come and donate your heart fully heartful.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, in our midst, thank you very much, Mr. Pandor. Thank you very much. In our midst is what I consider, I like to move the term away that we refer to in Barbados as community workers, NGO people. In our midst today, we have a number of magnificent and outstanding community practitioners in this very room. But one more so that is here, Mr. Mohammed, is Ms. Karu, who is always involved in any kind of beneficial activity that promotes Barbados or promote a cause or promote an activity that will certainly bring benefit to this country or to the various communities. And I'm very happy that Ms. Karu is here. Had the privilege of working with her too, a very bubbly, exciting, and enthusiastic individual who certainly gives of her best and effort at all times. Now, I know it's coming to the time of conclusion, but also our cameraman, our photographer, Mr.
And vice captain.
And vice captain of the team, Mr. Franklin. He's here with us. He's a marvelous statistician also. And I must tell you that I'm sure that that match next Friday, Mr. Pando, will be covered in all, not only in the press, but it will also be covered from our personal perspective, with all of the figures being compiled. At the tournament, you will be playing for a wonderful trophy. There will be most runs, most valuable player, and most wickets. And we're going to set a wonderful atmosphere where that is conducive for real good, solid cricket and entertainment. And Mr. Mohammed, I would like to tell you at this point, I'm a horse racing fan. I've been going to horse racing since 1959. And right now the odds on the odds board are quoting the Muslim community at odds of 3-1.
All right.
And the Barbados Turf Club, odds on favorite. I just want to put it in that term. I also was in contact in Trinidad today with our partners with the foundation, our Jane Cricket Club, which is the premier cricket club in Trinidad, and they asked me to wear this shirt to show that they will be that they are represented at this conference. And you know, some of the best players in the West Indies cricket team are currently came out of Power Jane Cricket Club. They too will be making a donation to the cause, Mr. Mohammed.
Thank you very much.
And now I will want to ask, after all of this, to ask Mr. Mr. Mohammed, I think I've changed that plan.
Okay.
It will obviously be remiss of me that we have this crew here and did not ask her
To say a few.
to say a few words and also move the voter tax also. This crew.
Well, I just want to say that I am in support as the secretary of the Barbados Jockeys Guild. The guys will be out in full support. We hope to have one or two of them take part, so that's a week of getting them all in shape.
Yeah.
But this is a cause that is very deep, just like Mr. Mohammed, Cancer Society. I had made a pledge this year that we will work with them closely, and when Mr. Mohammed spoke to me, I was more than happy to take part in whatever way we can. I'm hoping that Barbadians in all communities can come out, support, give of your best, give whatever you can. Watch, that's a way of supporting. Take part if you can, but give whatever you can. Thank you. And just to say, I'd like to say thank you very much to Mr. Pandora, to Ms. Cook Johnson, Mr. Amitalashi, and of course, Ms. Corbin from the Turf Club, and Mr. Mohammed for conceptualizing this very much. And you guys, look forward to seeing me the best team win. Thank you.
I just want to add to the voter thanks one sponsor, RLC and Company. They provide the refreshment for us, and for the players on the night. So I had to mention that. And there is like refreshments, everybody can join.
That is all that's left for me to do is to thank the distinguished members of the head table, our youthful audience, and Mr. Ruda includes you, I'm a youthful person. And certainly we wanted to thank also the Ministry of Education for allowing us to use this facility.
Yes, sure.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Mr. Lashley,
in short,
before Honourable Lashley, just before, I would like this, I've been looking at you to see what size you are. Do you think I've been looking at you rather than how you know why it is? I was just trying to evaluate. This, I'm going to take it out. This is the shirt that we use for something we call Movember, where the gentlemen do grow their moustache,
That's the
and
turf
everyone
club
sponsors it, so
That's
it's
the one we
Movember,
have.
and then it's
Friday
Bob.
night.
So I'm not really meaning who's
This is the
having-
turf club. I chose
Well,
that
I
for the
don't
turf
mean
club.
to be on the side of the turf.
Yeah, getting more weight.
But I am giving this to the chair of the meeting, and I suppose I am hoping that you will not be biased by
Doing
it.
your presentation.
Open
Do
the
you want me to
level.
move over?
But
Yeah, just
you-
stay behind the flag, in front of the flag.
Yeah, doing the presentation for Mr. Lashley.
oh, okay.
I'm being Mohammed. This is the
I'm
shirt
going to
that
do
the Turf
him
Club.
just
Turf club will be wearing. Yeah.
Are we all
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, I got more of them for you.
Come close.
Yeah, that's good.
There you
Just
are.
up there so we can see it.
And let me have you.
Hold it up a little.
Yeah, like that.
This is Mr. Lashley.
Yes, sir.
Smile.
Yes.
Beautiful. One more.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Lashley, this is for you and the little bag, but what I would also like to say is, I don't know if you will wear it on the night or you will be wearing the Muslim shirt on the night.
I'll split you in half.
I'm the one that's sticking in the middle.
We couldn't do anything without Mr. Lashley, Mr. Mohammed. I would actually like to name the clinic. We'll hold a clinic sponsored by Mr. Mohammed for the gentleman to come along. And this is your,
Thank you very much.
I'm sorry I don't have anything else for all of the Muslim team.
That's
But-
why I have the ones
You want one?
that you delivered yesterday.
That's for you to put on. All right.
That's why I said distinct,
Just
two different
let me
colours.
distinct the two pictures. Are just Muhammad and Scott hold the shirt.
Wow.
No, stay, Mr. Lashley. But we just have Scott holding.
Right,
Thank
you
you.
closer to me.
So we will know that the
Right,
shirt is
that-
being presented.
Right,
to
the
you.
first one was presented to you, second was presented
Just
to
hold
me.
it. Beautiful.
I actually had, Dr. Kurt Johnson sent me 2 sets yesterday. Blue for the turf club I chose, and the
Beautiful.
purple one is for the Muslim side.
Thank you.
So
Thank
they
you
have,
very
they have
much.
shirts for you. The team.
Thanks a lot.
Everybody in the team will get